Hari Om. Welcome back to Life and Vedanta 3.9. Today we shall be uncovering the universe that we live in. Today we shall be knowing how this body, the physical body, the sthula sharira, the gross body, and the gross world emerged. Therefore, I request you all to kindly join me for the prayers, for the invocation, so that we not only listen, but we listen to that level which is called a Shravana, meaning listening itself will give us the knowledge. Shravan-Matrena Jnana Labhyate. Kindly join me. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. In the previous two sessions, we saw first from Brahman, pure Brahman, nothing can emerge. This has been identified, this has been established. But the power of Brahman is then called as Maya. And for the purpose of creation, as we know, we need two aspects. One, the intelligent cause, the efficient cause, and second, the material cause or the gross elements. Therefore, Maya becomes the material cause and Ishvara together create the universe. Therefore, in the normal parlance, when we say God, that means in Hinduism, in Sanatana Dharma, in Vedanta, it means Ishvara. Now, from the combination of Ishvara and Maya, what emerged? As we know, Ishvara is the sentiency aspect. That remains the same in and through. So what emerges means what comes out of something is the changing factor. That is Maya. By nature, Maya is endowed. By nature, Maya is of three aspects, three qualities. Therefore, Maya, she is known as Trigunatmika, guna, qualities. First, Sattva, the knowledge aspect. Second, Raja, the activity aspect. And third, Tama or Tamasic, meaning that which is inert. With these three qualities in her came the 5 Tanmātrās, meaning the great elements. But these great elements are still in an unmanifested fashion. They are unmanifest. Therefore, they are subtle than the subtlest that we know. From each of these 5 Tanmātrās that came the unmanifest 5 elements, each of them with their particular quality came one of our sense elements. Remember, the sense organs have not yet born. These are those senses which later on will activate the sense organs. When will this state come? This state will come when the gross body is created. When the gross world is created. We go back to our previous session about the 5 Tanmātrās, which have, from each of them have come the 5 subtle elements of the sattvic aspect. These unmanifest sattvic aspects, the senses that have come from them, they together with the 3 gunas together, they constitute as the Karana Sharira. Karana Sharira is the causal body. Next, in the last session we spoke that from the Rajasic aspect, they were manifested, not grossified, not these 5 elements that we know. Manifested but not grossified. What we know are grossified. The stage of grossification has not come in the chronology of creation as yet. Therefore, the manifested 5 senses of action. Why am I saying not the organs? Because the organs have not created. Why? Because the gross body has not been created yet. We are still in the subtle body stage. Now you understand. The subtle body, the Sukshma Sharira, that which governs the Sthula Sharira, the gross body. The 3 bodies, the gross body, the physical gross body has the physical organs. But the physical organs are activated only when the subtle body indicates them to work. And the subtle body, whatever impulses it gets, it understands it by the Karana Sharira, where we have what? We have the 5 senses and the 3 gunas. From the sattvic aspect, where the 5 senses had come individually from one element, something else also came when all the elements came together. That is the Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. Means these 4 are not 4 different, they are one, but they are defined as 4. They came together. Why? Because the sense perception, when it will happen, the mind will be able to read all of them together. Although each sense organ can only understand one sense object. In the same way, in the Raja aspect, from 1 Tanmātrā or 1 element came one individual organ of action, sense of action. But combining them together, all the Rajas aspects together, came the Pañca Prāṇa, the vital force, the vital energy in us. In this way, we had understood in the last session how and what came from the sattvic aspect, what came from the rajasic aspect. Now we speak of what came from the tamasic aspect. Etesham panchatattvanam madhye tamashamshat panchakrita panchatattwani bhutani. Etesham panchatattvanam madhye tamashamshat panchakrita panchatattwani bhutani. Tamasa, tama or tamasic. It means inert. What do we understand by the word inert? Inert means that which by on its own cannot activate itself. Means it cannot give sentiency to something else also. Means it can only do something when it gets the support from the sentient aspect. That which is absolutely inert. What came out of the tamasic aspect? From the five tamasic aspect came this entire world. Came this sthula sharira, meaning the gross body. Sthula Vishwa means the gross world. It came from the aspect of tamas, means inert. Don't we see everything in the universe, including our body, that they can only move when there is sentiency in them. The moment the sentiency moves away, is removed, is ejected, everything that we know becomes still, cold, inert. Isn't it? Even our bodies. Don't misunderstand. I'm not saying that it dies and it perishes. No. They are all different forms of energy. When I burn paper, the death of paper is occurred. In the sense, it has transformed from paper to ash. So the birth of ash is there, the death of paper is there. But there is no real end of something. It's a transition. One ends, from the same thing, something else comes. From this one end, something else comes. However, all this moves in a cycle. Nothing ever ends permanently. It only shifts from one stage to another. And this stage of birth means creation, then living means sustenance, and then death means transformation, are represented by the three gods of Hindu. The Hindu way speak of three gods. Each of these three gods represent one aspect. Brahma, not Brahman, Brahmaji, Bhagwan Brahma, represents creation. Bhagwan Vishnu represents the continuation of that activity in that period of life to death, creation to destruction. And Bhagwan Shiva, also known as Maheshwara, is that which transforms from life to death, and then it gives the new form, new creation, the cycle of life, the dance of creation, which is called as the Leela, never stops. It goes on and on and on. So, from the Tamasic aspect of the Tanmatras comes the entire gross world and the gross body. Just as the gross body is made up of the Tamasa aspect of the Tanmatras. Why and how? Because it is created in such a way after the grossification of these 5 tamasic aspects. And in the same way, this entire world is created. So, no one can ever claim that I am different from the world, because the world and every creature, everything in the world is created from the grossified 5 elements which are inert. The same with the body. Then, whether the body is white, whether the body is black, whether it is brown, whether it is any color, whether it is tall, whether it is short, whether it is rich, whether it is poor, whether it is male, it is female, or it is otherwise, it has no difference. It is same, absolutely same. There is no distinction. Therefore, if we understand these concepts clearly, we will understand that the differences that we see between one and another, between one person and other person, between one country and other country, between me and you, they are only superficial, that meets the eye. But at the core, we are but the same. There are nobody called as blue-blooded. They are all the same, emerged from the 5 tamasic aspect, means from the inert aspect of the Trigunatmika Maya. Therefore, there should not be any ego that I am greater than you, or we are the greatest, or they are the greatest. This is only a mind game. It is illusion. Therefore, we must understand that we are all but the same. And this is the reason in Sanatana Dharma, in Hindu way of life, in Vedanta, we say Namaste, where the divine in you and the divine in me are the same. That's what it represents. Isn't it wonderful? The grossification process we shall take in the next session, because there is a lot of graphics that I'll have to show you to make us understand how this grossification process reached to the point where the whole world became the way it is. But for that, we'll have to wait one more week, and in the next week, we will in detail explain how the grossification process begins, which is called as Panchikarana. Kindly join me in thanking Bhagwan, in thanking the Gurus for preserving this knowledge and passing this knowledge generation after generation, so that we can take the benefit of it, listen to it, understand it, learn it, and practice it. How can we practice this knowledge? Just as I am doing, by sharing with others. When you share your knowledge, that knowledge is transformed into wisdom. Kindly join me. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om.